morning students of class 12. So welcome back to the biology online classes. In the previous class we had already started that asexual reproduction in plants is carried out by different methods. We talked about the first method, that is fission. Fission is splitting of an organism into two daughter cells or more than that in multiple fission. So simply the parent body divides into the two daughter cells. So that was in binary fission. Example, we studied binary fission in amoeba, in which the body of a single amoeba divides into two. Then we studied in plasmodium, that one single plasmodium gives rise to many, that is called multiple fission. Then the second one we studied was budding. Budding is a method of asexual reproduction in which a small outgrowth develops from the body of the organism, that is called bud, like in case of hydra. And the second one we studied was in case of yeast. This bud will gradually grow in size and it will develop all the organs or the parts which are there in the parent cell, and finally it gets separated from the parent, okay, to lead an independent life. So that we had studied in the budding method. Now today we have to start with the gamule formation. What is gamules? Gamules are also specialized birds. So in some unicellular algae, all fresh water and some marine sponges. You know what is a sponge? A sponge is the name of the organisms which is found in the phylum Porifera. All fresh water and some marine sponge reproduce asexually through a specialized exogenous birds known as or called gamules. Okay, so what is gamules? First of all, gamules are the specialized birds which develop in all freshwater sponges and some marine sponges. Freshwater, you know, those sponges which are found in rivers, lakes and ponds where the water is not salty. And marine means those sponges which are found in the seawater. Now, if you look at the diagram of these sponges, when gamules, it appears like a small hard ball-like structure. So in freshwater sponges, the gamules are formed by the accumulation of archaeocytes. Now what is this archaeocytes? In freshwater sponges, gamules are formed by the accumulation of, that is by the collection of archaeocytes. Archaeocytes are the cells which can differentiate to form different types of, different types of cells that carry out different types of functions. So in freshwater sponges, gamules are formed by the accumulation of archaeocytes. Archaeocytes are the names which are found laden with reserve food materials. Laden with reserve food materials having a thick chitinous inner, so chitinous inner and a thin outer membrane, Means two types of membranes are there. The outer membrane is thin, whereas the inner membrane is thick due to deposition of chitin. Understood? So in freshwater sponges, gamules are formed by the accumulation of archaeocytes. Archaeocytes is the name of the cells which are laden with reserve food materials that has a thick inner membrane that contains chitin, and the outer membrane is there which is thin. Now next is in marine sponges. Gamules develop in marine means the seawater. So in marine sponges, the gamules develop in favorable conditions. So in gametes develop as cluster of archaeocytes surrounded by a thin membrane of flat cells. In marine sponges, gametes are formed as a collection of archaeocytes surrounded by flat cells. Gametes are formed as a cluster of archaeocytes surrounded by thin flat cells, thin membrane of flat cells, formed as a collection of archaeocytes surrounded by a thin membrane that contains flat cells. Okay, now look at the diagram. In marine sponge, earlier we studied about the freshwater sponges, contains archaeocytes with laden food materials, that is rich of food materials, and it has a thin outer wall and a thick inner wall in it. Now we are studying about the marine sponges, in which gametes are formed by the collection of archaeocytes. Now what is archaeocytes? Again, it is the name of the specialized cells which can differentiate to carry out different types of functions. It is surrounded by the thin membrane, and the membrane contains cells which are flat in shape. Now look at the structure. When you draw the structure of gametes, like this, the mouth part, then just like a pot you have to draw. Okay. Make a circle. Alright. And this one is called, the mouth like part is called micropyle. The opening is called micropyle. This one, these cells are called archaeocytes. Alright, what are they called? Archaeocytes. Then spicules are present everywhere. These structures are called spicules. Spicules. So what is this structure of? This is the structure of gamete formation in sponges. So how does it look like? From the diagram it appears like a ball-shaped structure. Okay, so next we have to write, in general, each gamete appears as a small hard ball. In general, each gamete appears as a small hard ball, just like a small hard ball it is, and it contains an opening at one end. So it has a small opening at one end with a small opening. This is the opening with a small opening at one end. Now next, what is the next point of this gamete formation? It is formed during favorable conditions. Already I had said, after gamete formation, once the gametes are formed, it will disintegrate. That is, the original gamete the original sponge that will disintegrate, and the gametes will float in water. After gamete formation, original sponge will disintegrate. Okay, after gamete formation, original sponge disintegrate, means it will break down. After gamete formation, the original sponge will disintegrate and the gametes float in water. And the gametes float in water. So once the gametes are formed, now the parent or the original sponge will break down and the gametes will float in water. And in the presence of favorable conditions, these gametes will germinate into a new sponge. In favorable conditions, the gametes germinate and produce a new sponge. In favorable conditions, the gamets germinate and produce a new individual. Okay, so this is the gamete formation method of asexual reproduction. It is found in both freshwater and marine sponges. Okay, then how it looks like in general, the gametes appear like a small, hard ball-like structure. There is opening at one end. Here it is called micropyle. And after the gametes are formed, the original sponge will break down, that is disintegrate, and the gametes are released on the surface of water. They will float in the water, and when they will get favorable conditions like presence of food, suitable temperature is there, then they will germinate and grow into the new sponges. So in this way, the sponges can reproduce asexually by gamete formation. Now next we have to study is fragmentation. The next method of asexual reproduction in plants is by fragmentation. What is fragmentation, you know? So number 4 it is now. Fragmentation. Fragment means pieces. So this type of or this method of asexual reproduction is found in unicellular. This will be found in simple organisms like algae. So in algae like Eleutheryx and Spirogyra. Two names I have written, Spirogyra, Eleutheryx. What are they? They are the algae. So in algae like Eleutheryx and Spirogyra, the parent body divides into many fragments. And each fragment can grow into a new organism. Each fragment can grow into a new organism. It will develop all the structures which are required. So the broken piece of a living organism can germinate or grow into a complete organism. That is the method of fragmentation, method of asexual reproduction in plants. In fungus also, this type of fragmentation is found. In fungi or fungus also, a small fragment means here the piece of hypha. Hypha is the part of the fungal body, the stem-like structure. A small fragment of hypha can germinate and develop into a new body. We can write it can develop into a new individual. Now the next method is by spores. Hope you understood these two. That is fragmentation in algae, fragmentation in fungi. So both of them, algae as well as fungi, can reproduce asexually by the method of fragmentation, in which the parent body, just like this, I will show a diagram. This is the parent body. If it is cut into many pieces, each broken piece, like these are the broken pieces, they can germinate into a complete organism. Like in case of Spirogyra, is possible in case of Eleutheryx. In case of fungus, this method of asexual reproduction is applicable. Alright, now the next, number 5. The fifth method of asexual reproduction is by spores. Okay, number 5. Spores. What is spores? Spores are microscopic bodies which it can germinate and grow into a new organism. Example, I will say, you have seen the bread mold growing on the surface of bread. From where do they come? It is present in the atmosphere in the form of spores. And when they fall on the surface of bread, they get all the favorable conditions which are needed for them to germinate. That's why the bread mold will grow on the surface of bread and germinate into a complete organism. So what are spores? We have to start with the spores. Simple plants like algae reproduce through specialized reproductive structures. Simple plants like algae reproduce through specialized structures. Okay, called spores. Now there are different specialized structures through which the simple plants like algae can grow. Like in the previous one we studied, it can grow by the process of fragmentation also. It can grow by budding also. Now we'll talk about the spores. So two types of spores are there. The motile spores. Motile meaning is they can move. They are also known as, example of motile spores if it is asked, you can write zoospores are motile. And non-motile spores, non-motile means the one which cannot move. Non-motile spores, the two examples we can write aplanospores and hypnospores. Hypnospores. These two are non-motile spores. So there are two types of spores. The motile spores are called zoospores, non-motile spores are called aplanospores. So algae can reproduce by the motile as well as non-motile spores. Now next we have to study in our syllabus two examples are there, Chlamydomonas and the second one that is in fungus, Conidia formation. So first we have to study in Chlamydomonas. What is Chlamydomonas? Chlamydomonas is the name of a algae. In Chlamydomonas, a diagram is also there. In Chlamydomonas, which is a type of fungi, unicellular algae it is, sorry, not fungus. It is unicellular means made up of single cell, vegetative, or we can say the asexual reproduction occurs by spore formation. And these spores are motile spores, that is zoospores. So I will just draw a simple diagram and then we can explain this topic. Now see, this one is Chlamydomonas. Unicellular means made up of single cell. It has the flagella for locomotion. Okay. Then it has the protoplast. Alright. Now this is the parent body. If I take it as A, the parent Chlamydomonas containing the flagellum. Flagellum is needed for them to swim in water. Then the second step, that is B. What happens? At the time of spore formation or during the process of this reproduction, zoospore formation, this Chlamydomonas the parent will withdraw its flagella. There is no flagella now. Now what is there? Only the protoplast is there, okay? Protoplast is there. So next step what happens is, there is protoplasmic division, longitudinal division. So if I draw a diagram like this, longitudinal division occurs of the protoplast, the entire protoplasmic material divided into two parts. So it leads to the formation of two cell stage. Okay. Later on it can divide to form four cell stage also, like more divisions will occur. So 1, 2, simply I am drawing this diagram, not making it complicated so that you can understand. Okay, now it is four cell stage. Alright, after that, once the four cell stage is reached, now they will develop the flagella also. Means these tiny spores, they will develop flagella and they will become zoospores. The zoospores which are formed, they are similar in shape and size. Means their structure is same like the parent. Their size is also same. Shape is same. All the structure is also same. But they are quite small in size. So in the next step which we can draw, see, one of the spore is liberated. Alright? And some more are still there inside. Now see, breaking off this parent wall occurs and they are released, and now this leads independent life. Once again the same process can continue. So what we studied in Chlamydomonas, which is a unicellular algae, the asexual reproduction by spores occur in the first stage, that is the parent body. At the time of spore formation, it will withdraw its flagella, and then there is division of protoplasm, or the protoplast divides to form 2-cell or 4-cell stage. And new daughter, these spores are produced, or daughter Chlamydomonas are produced. These spores will, like they have the protoplast, they will secrete a wall around itself, and they will also develop the flagella only at the time of when they are released. The parent wall will break, like this one is breaking, here you can see, and they are released into the water. Now each of them, they are very much similar or identical to their parents. Their structure is almost same, because they have also flagella, they also got the flagella. Their size is only different. They are small in size, they are bigger in size. And once they are released, they will grow and attain their size and become like the parents only. Understood? So now next topic we have to do is in fungus. Hope you have understood this one. Okay. Now in fungus also, the same sports one we are doing. In fungi also, there is formation of spores. 2 types of spores are there, but only one is there in our syllabus that we have to learn. In fungi also, they reproduce asexually. That is the common method. The most common method of asexual reproduction is by the formation of spores. The most common method of asexual reproduction is by the formation of spores. So fungus also reproduce asexually by the formation of spores only. And there are 2 types of spores which are produced or which are found in the fungus. What are they? Number 1, conidia formation. According to their mode of formation, there are 2 main kinds of asexual spores in fungi. So how they are divided into 2 types? According to their mode of formation, how the spores are formed. According to their mode of formation, there are 2 types of spores found in the fungi. 2 types of spores are found in fungi. What are these 2 types of spores? Number A, first one we have to study, is not there in the syllabus, sporangiospores. That is developed on the sporangium. Sporangiospores. And the second one, which is there in our syllabus, it is by conidia formation. Conidia, this is there in the syllabus, not this sporangiospores. Okay. Now next one, conidia, the one which is there in the table. Conidia is also called conidiospores. Conidia, in bracket I am writing the other name, conidiospores. Conidia or conidiospores, they are found in many different groups of fungi. They are found in many different groups of fungi. Okay, conidia or conidiospores are found in many different groups of fungi, and they produce exogenously. Okay, they are produced exogenously. They are produced exogenously means outside. Now one diagram is there. After that we'll complete this topic. They are produced exogenously. I'll draw the diagram here. They are produced exogenously. Now look at the diagram, how it is. First we have the conidiophore. This is called conidiophore. conidiophore. The stalk is called conidiophore, means stalk, on which the conidium is burned. Okay. After that, like this you can do. Okay, each of them containing the nucleus here. Now what is the name given to this one? It is known as metula, M-E-T-U-L-A-E. M-E-T-U-L-A-E. Now this one further branches. Each of them containing the nucleus here. Now what is the name given to this one? It is known as phyllites. P-H-I. These cells are called P-H-I-A-L-I-D-E-S. I will check the spelling. P-H-I-A-L-I-D-E-S. M-E-T-U-L-A-E. Metula, conidiophores, phi. And on top of it now, the conidias are produced like this. Circle, circle you can draw. Each of them with a nucleus inside. Okay? Each of them containing a nucleus inside. These are called conidia. These conidia, they will be liberated and they can germinate and grow into a new fungus. So today up to this much only. I will give you the homework. Some questions are there that you can solve. Thank you.